Hey guys, welcome back to Warhammer 40k Road Trader. We're right in the thick of it, where we left off last episode. Now we're in a bit of an awkward spot. There's not much cover, and we're surrounded basically on all sides except our backs, because that's the entrance to Anatomical Opera. But what I think we can do is put Jay right at the back. It looks like we've got Cassia and Stooge starting off, and Iliad is not too far back, so that's fine. I think we can do a good amount of damage with those guys. So let's put Cassia in front here as much as we can, so that she doesn't hit anyone else with some friendly fire from her lidless stare. And there's the Cabalite Warrior. So this guy's the first after all of our turns. And then, okay, so it's these guys over here. Okay. I would try something else. Cassia here. Abelard can probably... Maybe Abelard could tank the Grotesque, actually, and then he should be able to get the attention of all the other Dark Elves. The Captives should be fine. They're easy to kill. Okay, so am I happy with this setup? I guess so. We can do it a bit like that. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Try and do our best to prevent our snipers from being engaged in melee. Having said that, maybe we should move Jay out there, Stooge here. That way, Stooge can't be... Well, he wouldn't be engaged in melee anyway, at least until after his turn, so that should be fine. Okay. 14. So there's 4 guys here, 6 guys there, and then 4 here in the middle. Okay, that's fine. Try and make sure I don't make the same mistake of missing a whole group of enemies and then getting flanked. So, alright, let's start the battle. Let's go with Rhea. Yep, let's do it like that. Voice of command on Stooge. Take aim. Or, hang on. Overwhelming stratagem.
Tell me, and it is done.
Can we not see our action points all of a sudden? What's going on? Inquisitor's Decree. All allies. We might not need it just yet. Might save that since it's got a bit of debuffing. Let's put take aim on Stooge and bring it down.
You've got a problem,
Let's
I've got a price.
Hitting this Grotesque, I think. Perfect spot. Okay, nice. We need opening up. Okay. Now let's just shoot. 156 lethality. Nice. Okay. Can't do anything else, so let's give Stooge another turn. It should be dead now. Or not quite. Okay. That's fine. It'll be dead. not too long. Cabalite Warrior, Cabalite Ranger. The Ranger, yeah, the Ranger are the ones with ranged weapons, obviously. Just checking to confirm though. Let's try and kill it. Okay, Elusive Shadow. Let's end our turn. Okay. I don't think we want to do burst. Yeah, that'll hit all our friends too, so that's not ideal.
Jai Haydari.
I'll show
Remember
you the
the
real
name.
pain.
Okay, actually hit.
Am I getting paid?
Your
Actually hit.
skill
Okay.
is lacking.
Oh. 32% hit chance. Okay. Went through the dodge. That's interesting. Alright, let's end the turn then. Cassia. Oh, I forgot to give Cassia a gear. Whoops. Alright. Fair enough. Let's drag them all over here.
As duty demands.
Yep. He's dead. Yep, let's do that.
Now you're clad in scarlet.
Beautiful. Okay. Voice of command on J. Kill this guy. Not quite. Okay. 187. Okay, so what is the dodge? 71. Okay, that's not too bad. If we really wanted to, we can put exploits up and then reduce the dodge with exposed weakness. But let's do this.
I
Yep, nice.
will not submit.
Okay, let's just take this guy out. Nice. Okay. Elusive Shadow.
I can't lose.
104.96. Okay. Perfect spot. Ray. Let's take out the Ranger. If we can. Okay, we are not. Let's use this one first. We need to do Wandering Portent initially.
Fortune favors
I'll
the
show
swift.
you the real pain.
Claim the bounty. Click hold the pole. See if we can claim the bounty. Yes, we can.
This can't be.
Okay. Tactical knowledge as well. And we're trailing the warrior. Okay. Pray
If
on
it
the
serves
sky.
your cause.
16% armor. That's not necessary, to be honest. Oh, this looks like a kill.
I
Alright,
can't
nice.
lose.
Let's do it like that. Alright, let's shoot the guy furthest away. Or Cabalite Thrallmaster. Surprisingly only has 40 HP. Or wounds, rather. Oh. Okay, the plasma gun can also over-penetrate. I guess that makes sense. I just didn't realize. Shows what I know. Ooh. Ooh, nasty. Took out their own guy though, so unlucky.
This can't be over.
Okay, the Harlequin is back. The already familiar baritone calls out to you from the shadows. The key unlocks a door that then will lead to one that only happenstance will free. Your chance I'll be, to me the bolts will see. Your part comes next, to break the bonds and flee. To you, the merchant vagabond, I bring the gift of providence, but will you look? Cassia clutches her head at the side of the Harlequin, and scarlet blood starts trickling down her cheeks. Your colors, Xenos, are fractured and wrong, as if refracted through a distorted prism. What should be familiar is dispersed, and the bedazzling shades won't stop twisting madly. The Xenos, tilting his head to the side, looks at Cassia with curiosity. So many things can three eyes glimpse at once. Sha'ails, veiled paths and caverns of the soul, but with 1,000 sights you could not see. The wrecks of fate beneath reality. Past creaking walls will twirl you round in halls of intertwining serendipity, but not just yet. The dance calls for a pair. Your partner is, for now, tied up with me. I do not understand. Oh, nectar sweet, your name is ignorance. Make sure to savor every drop before your glass is drained by insight in a blink. You've helped me more than once already. I'm listening. Both opening and warning is my boon. Your fate hangs by a thread drawn breaking tight, but with a show of patience opportune, the merchant's certain death will turn to flight. You stride not into battle but a snare of guile and strife, a neatly woven net. Lust's mistress lifts her sword into the air, and baying for your blood, her pack does set. So dance a ring around oblivion, await a sign from night's own melody, catch sight of it, and then make haste be gone. One yawning mouth, one leap to set you free. So Kikaros is planning to kill me in the next fight, but you are ready to effect my escape. All I must do is survive the arena, wait for your sign, then run. You cannot possibly mean into a literal mouth, so you must mean for me to leap into a portal of some kind. Do I have that right? The Harlequin sweeps into a low bow like an actor who has performed before a true lover of high art. He seems satisfied with your answer. The Xenos lays a finger over the mute lips of his mask and vanishes, as if to convey that your conversation is a great secret known only to the two of you. Okay, wow. Dark Lance, okay. Whoa, that is crazy weapon. 2639, 60% armor pen. Okay, well, got some interesting information from the Harlequin. That looks like he's trying to help us. Problem is, to what end is he trying to help us? Because I don't know if I trust the Harlequin that much. For now, we have no other choice. And there's no Okay. Portal to the arena is no longer open. What an affront to the cult. The witch has lost face, and soon it may no longer be a figure of speech.
Locomotives are fully operational.
Let's save it here. That fight went pretty well, so... that's quite good. Okay. Homunculus's minion. Actually, let's have a chat with Commissar first before we go into the pit, because it looks like once if we survive the pit, then we'll be legging it out of here immediately. So let's talk to the Commissar first and see what he has to say. Let's head
I need
in.
no Farseer to guide my future.
Okay. So... maybe we'll talk a bit with our companions first, just to see what they have to say.
May these instructions protect the machine spirits that serve me from the blasphemies of corrupted technology.
How are you feeling after all the punishment your body has taken?
Functional parameters restored to suboptimal levels. In token of mourning for the loss of true flesh, the pain receptor blocking systems have been disabled. Algetic stimulation engaged in integral catharsis mode.
Do you ever regret turning down the opportunity to comprehend xenotech through your own flesh and blood?
This statement is false. The adjacency of xeno-augmetics to the sacred metal of the machine god and their interaction with it resulted in algorithmic paradoxes and the blasphemous consequences thereof. The Omnissiah purifies and protects.
Any valuable thoughts on how we can get out of here?
Strategic recommendation. Analysis has shown that the non-human community is racked by strife. Exploiting the Xenos' mutual differences can result in temporary alliances that will provide the technological means of returning the unit von Valancius to real space.
We have been betrayed, Pascal.
Reverse analysis is showing the act of sabotage to have been predictable. The directives for interacting with xenoraces warn about non-humans' proclivity for breaching contracts. The data concerning the unreliability of the unit Iliet has been archived.
How does it feel to be in Comora? It's a rare opportunity.
This place is calling out to the Omnissiah for an act of purifying and gracious xenocide. The spatial disharmony observed here points to its anathematic nature. That being said, complete extermination is not advised. Those in possession of technological knowledge should be rounded up and subjected to interrogation and vivisection prior to disposal.
That's interesting. Are the Adeptus Mechanicus our Imperium equivalent of the homunculus? Could be.
May the filters of knowledge bestowed upon us by the machine god protect us from the temptations and horrors of blasphemous revelations.
Alright.
May your labors be effective.
Okay. Abelard is over here. Okay, Abelard with Cassia.
Lord Captain, I serve at your pleasure.
How are you feeling?
I fear, Lord Captain, that without the intervention of an experienced rejuvenate adept, I will not be able to overcome this frailty on my own. Blessed throne, it is hard to be a helpless old man. I always hoped I would die, long before the day my back and hands gave out. And look at me now.
You haven't seen your departed wife again?
I have not seen her, Lord Captain. But there are times when I think I hear her laughing in the distance. Or I sense hands touching me, as she used to do, to distract me from my sorrowful ruminations. But I know the difference between reality and fantasy. Now I fear I shall simply have to learn to live with this ghost that appears only to me. With this vision of the past.
Any thoughts on how we might get out of here?
I am sorry to say I do not. If we had our ship and crew at our disposal, we could be safely within its walls, conduct reconnaissance of this place, and in the end, meet our deaths in battle against the Xenos, as befits true servants of the God Emperor. However, we are deprived of our usual resources. Now we can only rely on our weapons and our wits.
Do you know anything about this place?
No, Lord Captain. And trust me, I hope to remain in this state of blissful ignorance until my dying day. Just knowing that this abyss exists at all is enough to poison my mind.
Fair enough.
If you are so interested in this God Emperor forsaken place, then why not ask your new companion? Your decision to bring him into your retinue ought to at least bring some benefit in our current predicament.
Don't worry, I've already asked him.
It is possible. The Xenos, Elliot, could tell you something about this place. After all, she is in some way related to its denizens, and she is responsible for the fact that we are here at all.
Abelard falls silent, but his eyes make it clear what he thinks of the Eldari's return to the ranks of your companions. Okay, Abelard nods wordlessly and closes his eyes, both out of a desire to sleep and a desire not to see his surroundings even for a short time. Okay, that's fine. Cassia?
What a relief to be talking to you again. Your soul shines like the gold of the sun in the darkness of this place.
Frail figure, more like an echo of a living human, looks around in dismay. Cassia's disheveled hair is like a shaggy cloud around her haggard face. Her hands tremble as she hurries to smudge a bloody tear on her cheek. How are you holding up?
Can words ever describe the joy of being free?
Cassia smiles gently as she puts her hand on the spot where not so long ago the artifact used to glow.
As for the rest, don't worry about it. I am the blood of House Orcelio, its heiress, and I will overcome any ordeal to return us to the Expanse.
You know where we are?
Somewhere in the middle of the Dark City, I suppose. They say the human mind cannot fathom the bounds of this place, for the Imperium's largest hives look like grains of sand in comparison. A webway gate built by the ancient Eldari is the only way in. I think you realize as well as I do what that means for us.
It's amazing how much Cassia knows about a place so obscure. It's unlikely that the House Orcelio library confines itself to volumes written by the Imperium's chroniclers, altogether shunning sources of the more prohibited variety. I wonder what colors you see around you.
There was only pitch darkness inside the homunculus' artifact. But there is scarcely any more light in the streets of the Dark City, in whose blue-black haze I am almost blinded by pain. Clumps of brown and dark green blend with the settling ash of misery, all woven together in a tapestry of every shade of darkness.
You mentioned not being alone in the darkness of the artifact. Was it a figment of clouded reason, or was there really someone else with you?
It was real, Lord Captain. I must confess, I have been hounded by eerie strangers for many years. In my dreams, visions, and warp scryings, they try to reach me. They are tormented. They shout something I cannot make out. And one of those strangers, the most frightening one, is a woman who always stands aside and merely looks on in disapproval. Unlike the others, her image manifested itself more clearly each time. The refined features of her elderly face, the long white hair, the empty eye sockets glowing scarlet, and a third eye, the eye of a navigator. Once, in the middle of a warp voyage, the old woman dashed toward me and started strangling me. Praised be his mercy, for I was able to banish her to the fringes of my consciousness at that moment. However, that only angered the old woman.
Huh. Is that the original navigator that the I guess mutineers of the House Orcelio were trying to warn about? Maybe they weren't BSing and what they were saying was actually true. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
I began to see her ever more often, in shadows, at the edge of my vision, in my own reflection. And it was she, too, who waited for me in the darkness of the homunculus's cage. I know it for certain. Now, you know the last of my secrets, Lord Captain. Do you think I'm going insane?
The old woman resembles you a little too much, don't you think?
I had the same exact thoughts. But is that not a wild conjecture, even for a navigator? Or am I simply going insane, as unworthy scions of my family have?
Cassia's voice with despair. She looks you in the eye as if expecting a refutation of her misgivings. We shall escape this place soon.
Try not to squander that sky blue fabric of hope, Lord Captain. For others' colors too lighten when they are close to you.
Okay. Well, let's talk to Jay. Since she's the last one we haven't talked to.
Let's see. Your lordship, rogue trader, Shireen, bane of my existence and savior of my flesh. Cruel fate has driven us straight into the foulest corner of the galaxy. Home sweet home to the Drukhari scum. I have it on good authority that no one leaves this place. Not alive, not dead, not even in pieces.
The grim seriousness and the thin, haggard body cannot belong to the Jay Haydari that you know. Before you stands a soldier tough and no nonsense. How are your lungs?
Good as new, Shireen. No, honest. I can breathe and I'm not coughing up blood in people's faces anymore. You did well by me again, Shireen. Thank you. I will do my best to repay you in kind.
Jay says with an ironic quirk of her brow as she rubs the faded augmentation that has replaced her lungs and throat, as if she can't quite believe that it is once again part of her body. About your new persona.
Don't give me that look, Shireen. The plotting nobles, the scheming footfall thugs, the mysteries of Xeno artifacts, the bowing and scraping before the self-indulgent ecclesiarchy. All that's gone. Everything beyond these walls melted away like a dream. I'm fighting for my life. My soul's being torn to shreds and my body's bleeding. Is it too much to ask to want to be myself, Shireen?
Behave however you wish. I shall not impose my will upon you.
Oh, well, thanks, I suppose. But can I be the person I really want to be some other time, Shireen? But while we're stuck on Kamura, being a soldier just sits better with me. Can't imagine why.
I'm still waiting for an explanation, Kay.
So what do you want to hear, Shireen? A children's tale about a beautiful princess? A ballad about a queen of thieves? How about a new story, Shireen? Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived on a sand-covered lump of rock, and the core of that rock contained untold riches for servants of the Imperium. The girl scraped out those riches with her little hands, breaking her back and coughing up her lungs, on behalf of people who had never clapped eyes upon her, and who would never know her name. She did this every day until she turned 16, and then his servants came and drafted the girl into the 19th Ifrit Regiment. Can you imagine? Of course, the regiment was wiped out on its first sortie, but the girl survived. The Exalted One protects. So what was next? Years serving in the Astra Militarum, just a shitload of hard labor, and fighting, and deals, and shady connections, and new opportunities. But everything in this world ends sooner or later, Shireen. The now not-so-little girl went and fell in with the Kasbalika. She saved up a little gold, and she even indulged in excess from time to time, until living the good life almost cost the little girl her head after her patrons got caught in an internal investigation between the Officio Prefectus and Departamento Munitorum. So the girl ran as fast as her little legs could carry her, until her eyes and the beams of fortune brought her to the expanse. A shitty story, all things considered, Shireen.
Do you have a family?
The folks on Footfall are my only family, Shireen. The trickster twins and the rest of the rabble, plain-talking and loyal as dogs. And sometimes as dull as the pommel of a worn-out blade.
So you used to be in the Imperial Guard?
Corporal Haydari reporting for duty, sir. I've had enough of the Astra Militarum shit to last a lifetime, Shireen. And my body's collected enough souvenirs from run-ins with Xenos and heretics to last 2 lifetimes. Except, when it comes to the Guard, there's no such thing as used to be. That wretched life sank its claws into me good. But that also means I remember what it's like to be a small, shaking, insignificant pawn. And that's why I appreciate what I have now all the more.
How did you get involved with the Kasbalika?
What? You think it's difficult? Once me and my fellow guardsmen snuck into the upper city in search of a good watering hole, where the high and mighty of that world congregated. Another time, our regiment was sent to defend the tallest spires on a hive world. And I had an epiphany. I saw how the other half lives. And by half, I mean the ones born with a diamond spoon in their mouth, instead of an entrenching shovel rammed up their arse. My eyes were open to the truth, Shireen. The Imperium is full of opportunities, even for people like myself. The trick is knowing whose palms to grease, whose boots to lick, whose throat to squeeze, and whose arses to kick. I was very popular with everyone in the Guard Command, you see. I'd procure things for them, whatever they wanted. And so the Kasbalika took notice.
That explains the lung implant, but what about the hand?
It was orcs. Not everything I say is a lie, Shireen.
We don't have to ask that.
Whoop the Never mind.
Do you have any ideas about how we can get out of here?
That's a negative, Shireen. Hatching clever plans has been the last thing on my mind recently, you see. But on the bright side, while that Ashmag homunculus, may the Ashi devour that black-souled bag of bones, was busy experimenting on me, I managed to nick a couple of trinkets from his laboratory. Here, they may come in useful, if not for escaping, then at least for surviving in this rotten hole.
Okay. Remain vigilant. I shall need your help yet.
Sir, yes, sir. Your lordship, Shireen. I'll be here, all primed and ready to go.
Does Iliad have anything else to say?
You came back from the dark, Elentark? Unharmed.
I want to know why you did it. Everything from beginning to end.
You were asking why? How could I have trusted a monkey, Elentark? After Muaran told me that it was your kind that had attacked Cruderok. After I glimpsed a piece of Cruderok in your chambers. I saw that monkey hearts were full of hatred for me and my kin. And I saw how indifferent you were to the troubles of my kind. What else was I to do? Of the two sorrows, I chose the one that was closer to my blood.
That's odd. I don't think I was indifferent to the troubles of her kind. She even said she appreciated that I took the effort to try and help her out, so I don't know, this kind of feels a bit weird, this section. Or this sort of part of Iliad's story doesn't really match up, I guess, unless I'm remembering wrong. But I do remember she, even though we didn't necessarily manage to save them, one of them actually, we couldn't convince them, and neither could Iliad, but afterwards she said she appreciated the effort, so I wouldn't classify that as indifferent, but oh well. Some holes in the story, I guess, that were needed to move the overarching story forward, I suppose.
Which is why I tried to find my dark cousin on the day he attacked Dargonis. I used the commotion to slip away unnoticed and wandered the streets like a shadow in search of its owner. My efforts were futile. I returned to the palace in confusion. I waited for my fresh wounds to stop aching and for the watchfulness of the surrounding monkey to fade like the mist on an autumn morning. But still, I had my doubts. Perhaps, I thought, I should discuss it openly with you. That monkey Achilles. There was something wrong about him. He kept disappearing at night, so one day I followed him. Achilles was contacting Marajai, using an artifact that transmitted his master's orders. That is how I learned that the burnt monkey was about to betray you. Which meant my only chance to discover the fate of my homeworld was about to slip through my fingers. I could not wait any longer. I killed Achilles, took the artifact, and demanded answers from Marajai. He hinted at where I could go to look for the truth. You know what happened next.
So you killed Achilles.
My words will hardly console you, Elentark, but I killed the traitor. I fear the Dark Ones left too many scars on his fragile soul. Your loyal monkey broke, so I gifted him a swift death, free from the shame of betrayal.
Okay. We went through all that and you didn't even learn anything? I guess we can ask that.
Alas, my cousin fell out of favor with the Archon. But even so, I doubt Marajai would reveal the truth. At least not before his dark soul was suffused with my suffering.
Okay, enough about that. What do you know about this place?
Kamora. This city grinds down the will of the strong and torments any who get tangled in its dark web. The fools are the first to die, and the shrewd perish regardless. I have never been here before, but few children of Osirion manage to escape the dark city without surrendering a part of their soul. So what is it that you wish to know?
Who rules the Dark City?
An ancient and powerful Drukhari named Asdrubael Vect, the supreme overlord of the Cabal of the Black Heart, who reigns over all of the Drukhari with an iron fist.
My dark kin consider him to be a living god. Much like your emperor on the Golden Throne, Vecht sits upon a throne of darkness and suffering that keeps Comora's disparate clans from disintegrating. I would not want to meet him if I were you, Alantak.
What about cities other than Comora?
There are no other cities, Alantak. The Dark City has no bounds. It is a tangle of countless nightmare domains subject to a single ruler. An endless amalgamation of ever-changing and immutable dimensions. You cannot grasp its tenebrous grandeur, for even my life will not be long enough to visit all corners of the Dark City and the realms that border it. But it hardly matters where you go, for death lurks on every corner.
You know how we can get out of here?
The Dark City is pierced by millions of spires, and a webway gate may be hidden in any of them. It is the only way out of this place, and an impassable obstacle to any who do not know how to operate it. I know, and will help you should you so desire.
Okay.
But do I have the answers that you seek?
More trials yet to come.
So says a butterfly struggling in the Dark City's web. I will be close, Alantak, and I will support you in the coming trials, if you choose to let me.
Okay. Let's see. Save it here. Maybe one last conversation with Marajai.
Rogue trader?
Nope. Nothing.
Do not
Okay.
keep me...
Alright, so troubling developments, that's fine. Finish off Witch Kikaros. So that's in the arena. One of the Emperor's angels is being held captive. Convincing him to join the squad would be a wise decision. Yep. Okay, so I think we have to go to the arena, kill Kikaros, and that should let us recruit, hopefully anyway, should let us recruit Ulfar. You have anything else we need to do? The boots were missing, so there's that. But I think the only thing we can do now is the arena. Alright, let's save it here. And once more into the breach. Master Tervantius sent me. The Master wishes for you to send Kikaros on a swift journey to She Who Thirsts. Do not expect a fair fight. This is your execution. However, Kikaros is incapable of adequately assessing whatever she fails to comprehend, and therefore you stand a chance, albeit a negligible one. The help that was promised will be provided. The Anguish Prospector will bring the witches the ecstasy of death throes. Should you survive, do not return here. The witches will seek revenge, which is why the Master has already left the chasm and found new patrons. He suggests you do the same. So says the Master. The monotony and accuracy with which the monster repeats Tervantius' words reminds you of the way servitors communicate. So we have been thrown to the witches. Even if we survive this fight, we will not survive the retribution of the Dark City. I hope that Arabenian knows exactly how his play is going to end. Will you go to your master now? The Master doesn't need me anymore. I'll go kill someone, get their pieces, and make myself stronger. Okay, fair enough. Thirsters, do you want to witness a great legend as ancient as Comora itself? I give it to you now. Behold the tale of Soleil, the exile, the succubus dethroned. Soleil was a mighty warrior of her cult, renowned and deadly. Her dance of battle was an entrancing perfection of terror, but then a time came when an audacious apprentice supplanted Soleil turned her servants against her and drove her out of the Dark City. She wandered the Webway's savage wilds and slew scores of their terrible horrors as she fought for her life. In the legends, she slew them all and pressed onward, but our story will be shorter. Hill.
The Emperor is with us.
Quest failed. Find the missing companions. The chasm. I'm guessing that means that Ulfar didn't get recruited. Might do a quick save here and then I'll reload to have a check and see if I can pick up Ulfar before we come to the arena. I was hoping that after the conversation with that homunculus minion we could go and talk to Ulfar, but let's save it here in the arena. And then I'll quickly reload and have a look at how the Ulfar thing plays out. But if I still can't do anything, then I'll reload this save. And if not, I'll get us back to basically this point. And hopefully with Ulfar recruited, and then we'll do this fight and go from there. So, I'll see you guys in a bit with what I figure out, and we'll just go from there at that point. So, see you guys in a sec. Okay, we're back, and we're back in the anatomical opera.
I follow my own path.
I think I figured out how to recruit Ulfar. So, let's have a chat with Tervantius and pick him up. Okay, so this option is still here, so I guess that there are still lots of, if we still have the items that he's interested in, then this option will always be available, I'm guessing. Otherwise it would be not an option, even though it says we've already picked the option. But let's go for it again. After rummaging through what you have, Tervantius pulls out a fresh fragment of flesh that has caught his eye. He splits off a piece of it, places it in his mouth, thinks for a while, and finally concludes, "Curious, you have earned my attention, specimen. Speak quickly. I would like to take the space marine you keep in a cage." Tervantius remains silent for a long moment. The limbs behind him click ominously. The monkey male with an altered genetic structure. Ah, such phenomenal parameters. I previously studied 2 other specimens of the same breed, but have yet to untangle their genetic secrets. He also performs well enough in the arena. Losing this final specimen would be an undesirable outcome. Denied. With him, I would definitely succeed. It would further both of our interests. Sure, the loss of some monkey could never impede the work of a mind as great as yours. That poor soul's surely nothing. Well, that's not going to work. Surely it is dangerous to keep such a prisoner in your abode. What if he escapes and comes for your head? With him, I would definitely succeed. It would further both of our interests. If you are so helpless, then what use was there in letting you live? Surely it is dangerous to keep such a prisoner in your abode. What if he escapes and comes for your head? Do you truly think some monkey can frighten me? His body may be strong, but his mind is simple, and therefore he is no more difficult to keep under control than any other member of your species. Surely the loss of some monkey could never impede the work of a mind as great as yours. Perhaps the genetic subtype of all 3 specimens was defective, and this is the cause of my limited success. In that case, the loss of this specimen would not be significant. I recommend pain as means of pacification, and you can take his armor, as I found it entirely unintriguing. Okay, so we finally got that. We have more things we can give him, I suppose. Curious, you have earned my attention, specimen. Speak quickly. My condition has been rather grave since my arrival in... I shall need equipment if I am to kill your enemies. The servants are always dragging worthless trifles in here. I have no use for them. Find yourself a club or sharp stick suited to your abilities. You could try something more advanced, assuming you are not afraid of accidentally killing yourself with it. Okay, now we got some interesting stuff. The wearer becomes immune to slow and immobilize. Another glimmer steel blade. Black haze venom blade. Exoskeletal gloves, 10 strength and 5 toughness. Homunculus injector. I will take all of this stuff. That's pretty cool. Okay, save it here. Can we talk to him again? Specimen, you have brought me nothing worthy of attention. Get out. Okay, well, I guess we have nothing else. So we've got the Space Marine and we got gear.
Activating motive force reserve.
That'll do, I suppose. The redhead giant does not stop singing under his breath and does not seem to notice you. Okay. Listen closely to the song the prisoner is singing to himself. You do not know the language. The sounds seem crude and mangled, but not entirely lacking the harsh dignity of a form of Gothic, while also sounding similar to the rumble of a landslide, sharp and choppy guttural phrases tumbling forth in a harsh rhythm. Fellowship? What is the song about?
It is about starlight glittering in the blood of heroes. Snow marked by the footsteps of merciless hunters. The Faisalin haze that hangs over corpses torn apart by scavengers. In a word, home.
Let's see if we can try and sing. You close your eyes and enter the flow of the song, like slipping into a fast-flowing mountain river. Words rise up naturally in your mind. They are not the same ones sung by the prisoner, but you sense their aptness. Verse flows from your lips, full of surprising poetic metaphors and bloody details of a nameless hero fighting monsters under the light of unfamiliar stars.
You are the one who has supped the mjord of the Skjalds, I see. In the long haul, some of my brothers will be eager to tell you of their exploits so that you would sing a saga of their deeds.
I need your help. The prisoner looks at you expectantly without stopping his tune, but his expression shifts subtly, as if his affected crudeness of mind and manner has been replaced by focus and cunning. I'm planning an escape. Are you with me?
Why would I be? You are a stranger. How can I trust you? You could be an enemy. Worse, you could be an idiot.
We're both servants of the Emperor. We ought to help each other in perilous place.
Do you serve the Emperor? Or are you a puppet with the hand of that Xenos butcher up your arse? How am I to know whose words you speak? Yours or his? How am I to know what plot you're trying to draw me into?
Don't you want to slay Xenos with me?
Why didn't you say that at the start? What did you expect? Did you think you would waft the scent of slaughter under the bloodthirsty killer's nose, and it would rush off to do your bidding?
Cervantes gave you to me. Join my party.
Gave? Well, if he gave me to you, step into this cage and take me. You think a filthy blasphemous Xenos could do whatever he pleases with me?
Fair enough.
A true hero. Is that right?
I've enacted my will without fear of death, and my valor was celebrated long before I became a rogue trader.
Do you realize who you are bragging to, mortal? I have faced enemies in 1,000 battles. The bodies of those I have slain could pay the path from Fenris to Holy Terra. My name is known to everyone in the chapter.
My accomplishments must pale in comparison to yours.
They do, whatever they are. You can be sure of that. When I rip your insolent tongue out of your throat, do not ask why. This is why.
We end up getting in a fight.
Come here, you wretch! You have hidden on the other side of those bars long enough! Come in here and repeat your filthy words so I can kick them back into your bloody, stinking muscle! Fine! You got a rise out of me. And from what I can smell, you did not soil yourself in the process. I respect those with courage. I can work with you.
The giant lets out a frightening sepulchral roar, which turns into equally savage laughter. Wiping away tears, he stops chuckling and without a hint of threat in his voice remarks, I actually thought this was going to be, well, maybe it actually is, but I thought it was going to be like a nod to Minsk being caged at the start of Baldur's Gate 2 in Irenicus' dungeon. And he was going to bust out and then be like, ooh, you made me angry just to break out of the prison.
It seems Cervantes is not as clever as he likes to appear if he's letting me out of the cage. The joke is on him. Good steel I have already, but if we are going hunting, I will need my wolf skin.
He rolls his huge shoulders and you hear his joints crack loudly. He lifts his battle knife from the floor, decorated with scarlet runes. It seems to be his last surviving possession. Weighing it in his hand and wearing a skeptical frown, the wolf says, "Okay."
What did you say your name was?
Throwing back his head, he lets out a blood-chilling howl, one that contains the deranged mirth of evil spirits dancing on an icy cliff. A predatory grin blooms on his face. Lost the bone key? Ulfar is a space wolf, a mighty space marine. His proportions instill respect in his allies and fear in his foes, but because Ulfar takes up 4 cells instead of 1, certain mechanics may work differently for him. Ulfar does not use cover or conventional human armor and weapons. Ulfar's unique ability allows him once per combat, instead of losing consciousness due to having his wounds reduced to 0, to become incapacitated for 2 rounds. While in this state, Ulfar cannot be targeted by attacks or suffer damage, and he also counts as full cover for his allies. Okay. Level 20. Wow, okay. We seemingly get to customize him quite a bit. Alright, let's accept. That's fine. Adeptus Astartes power armor. Astartes bolt pistol. Wolf pelt cloak. And of course his power armor. 20 strength. Alright, nice. And we have gear for Abelard, so let's put this one on. 10 strength and 5 toughness. Free runner boots. Stinger ring. Gladiator mesh armor. 65%. 5 deflection. 3 deflection against melee attacks. 5 extra wounds. 2 deflection against non-human enemies. Okay. I think this one is better. So let's put that on. Yeah, okay. Riposte gloves. Yeah, I think I like the stabilizer braces more. Okay, so we got all that stuff. Is there something further back here? Nope. Okay, so nothing else. Okay, so we've run out of those things. Okay. Now that we've finally got Ulfar, let's check. Reunion? By collecting rumors and information on his missing companions, the Lord Captain will be able to find them and learn about their fate. I found them all, so why is this still... Why is this still not fully done yet? That's odd. Did we make a choice that was incorrect during that dialogue or something? I don't know. Oh, there's a bit more stuff here. Didn't see these. Okay, more gear. Bead of Might. If the wearer has 8 or more AP at the start of their turn, they gain 30% damage for the rest of combat. Wow, that's crazy. The prism-shaped Xeno artifact is made from a black metal that is oddly cold to the touch. The strange device has no visible seams, buttons, or holes. Increases ranged attack distance by wearer's ballistic skill bonus divided by 2 cells. The wearer gains 10 agility and fellowship. When the wearer's wounds should be decreased to 0 for the first time in combat, they are restored up to 50% of their max wounds instead. Okay. That is very interesting.
Light of
let's see if Tervantius wants that cube. Nope. I would like to speak with you about a member of my retinue who was delivered to you. I've learned all I wanted. Okay, so nothing else then. That looks like that's it. Okay. Well, I don't know why Reunion is still here. Not exactly sure. Because I've found all 5 of them, and we've picked up Marajai and Ulfar. Okay. Let's go back to the streets. I think we're gonna... yeah, we're gonna end the episode here. We've picked up Ulfar. What I want to do is... probably the start of the next episode is go back to the pit and have a chat with Ulfar to see what he has to say. And if there's nothing else that needs to be done after that, then we can head to the arena and finish all that off, and then progress the story and see where we end up after that. So the next episode I'll probably start off with us in the pit, and then have a chat with Ulfar, and then we'll get into fighting the arena if there's nothing else Ulfar needs us to do. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.